Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me this opportunity to share the pain of our people. And I'm highly thankful to Chairman Sardar Shaukat Ali Kashmiri and the comrades and writers, senior analysts of UK PNP and other friends. And I'm also thankful to the founder and chairman of MPM for showing his solidarity with us, with our people. So, with respect to Pakistan, I would like to tell you three things in my speech. The first, how the state is treating us collectively. So the people who are there, whether he's a Baloch, Pashtun, Sindhi, Kashmiri, how the state is treating us collectively over there when we try to raise our voice. And then I will refer some data about Pakistan, that what we have achieved being a part of Pakistan and what our people have been given over there. And then I will come to the CPEC. So, any wise thought or opinion that's not echoing in line of government, the state silenced that by all means. The political and civil society representatives are not allowed even to keep a political and particularly a religious safeguard opinion to go through from daily life, political, social, economical, and religious matters. The most powerful weapon of argument with the secondary channel of law enforcement agencies is this is conspiracy against the state and Islam. Unfortunately, in daily life, business, and that the secondary channel law enforcement agencies rule the other state institutions, i.e. parliament, police, courts, media, and even the economical sources. They are not sophisticated towards the people whom denounce as their subject. They are not sophisticated in social, religious, and economical issues, rule of law, not even with their neighbors, and even in foreign affairs issues with the world. The Pakistani attempt to hijack the online story on international media, European mainstream line media, the Pakistani propaganda through its hired consultants made BBC, Washington Post, New York Times, etc. to publish articles and stories showing the positive face of Pakistan to counter religious terrorism. You can still find those articles and online, given what has happened since Pakistan joined US allies, US allies and promised to combat religious terrorism. And the reality that's easily visible from the current situation. The states, particularly the US, signed those agreements with Pakistan for economical and military aid should make Pakistan accountable for those promises and agreements to the world. Promises to reform, promises to combat terrorism, promises to make good relations with their neighbors, promises to follow global action plans. Similarly, with respect to internal affairs, promises for religious peace and harmony, promises for fair distribution of resources, promises to maintain rule of law, promises to follow and respect the UN declarations and conventions with respect to human rights, promises to streamline its mega projects as per international rules and regulations, i.e. the state will accommodate the voices and risks of people, particularly with respect to CPEC and other mega projects. So I want to tell the European communities and the world that don't fall on the propaganda campaigns, especially backed by the Pakistani state and its actor, demand facts and proofs and analyze the voices of the local people, analyze real data and the conditions from which the people are suffering and going through. The thoughts presented over here, the voices and concerns raised over here by the respected speakers, analysts and people representatives are the voices of conscience and are the voices of reason, which actually the state itself should welcome in spite of naming them as voices of traitors, and silence the voices by elimination is not the solution and should not be allowed as a solution. The CPEC is widely known, is also linked with hopes, interests, concerns of people, disputes, legality issues, as well as regional and global geopolitics. However, such a mega project also raises numerous questions. especially with regards to the concerns of the local people, usage of the local resources, its impact on the socio-economic life of people and the economical arrangements, the terms and conditions of borrowings and financial aids, and if any attached, the feasibility of its implementation, the impact on the local people and the region, how the gains from these projects will be gained and disbursed, who will be gaining at what cost. Therefore, all these things, all these questions which I have raised, these shall be known to the people, and the state shall be transparent, showing all these to the people. Therefore, I try to shed light on involved interests and challenges, political impact on regional development, and make special reference about the concerns of the people and the response of the state. Mega projects are large civil engineering based infrastructure projects such as highways, dams and canals and ports shall be made with the consent that these will be benefit to the people. But unfortunately, if we look back, if we look to the history, the historical concept of the state usage of the word mega project or mega economical project has been seen as only the extracting the resources, particularly of Balochistan, and exporting them out, keeping the local populace isolated from those projects, i.e. gas exploration project from Sui, Sendak golden copper project, Recotic golden copper project, etc. I will state few examples of that by showing the current situation over there, that what the local people have got and what the state is doing over there. So I'm quoting the data which the state institutions have produced time to time. Balochistan produces almost all the onyx of the country. Coal is about 60% of the country's total production. Known reserves of the marble in the province are around 3 million tons, while production of marble in 1999 to 20,000 was 297,264 tons, while onyx and granite productions were 34,278 tons. The chromite extracted yearly was 31.195 tons. There are all 400 prospecting license and 250 mining lease granted so far to various concessionaries. The total area only in Balochistan, which is under mining, is about 600 square miles. According to estimates, the copper deposits are over 1 billion tons, and with over 11 million ounces of gold. The local people, local government, and provinces was completely kept deprived from the revenues and from any contribution from these projects. In this year, 2018, a UNDP report announced Balochistan as the poorest province of the world. The maternity mortality rate is 99.6 per thousand. It means that 99.6 mothers die giving a birth out of 1,000. And the infant mortality rate is 97 per thousand, even higher than Congo. Literacy rate in Balochistan is lowest, close to 41%. As per Supreme Court of Pakistan, that up to 1 million children in Balochistan are out of school. The primary school distance is 33 kilometers, which means that each 33 square kilometers of land holds only one primary school in Balochistan. There are 32 districts in Balochistan, but there are only 27 district hospitals. Balochistan is divided into 140 tehsils, but there are only 10 tehsil hospitals. The land size of Balochistan is 448,000 square kilometers and holds only 549 basic health units, means every 634 square kilometer has only one basic health facility. Now I'm coming back to the economic, what expectations we shall hope from this project, what it will give us and gives to our people. An economic corridor must be endowed with an enabling industry, one that is able to meet goals inherent to transport as well as other pressing national and local political, social and economical objectives. These objectives include, in coherence with the local people concerned, economic growth, creating a high and rising standard of living for the citizen, increased trade, especially with neighboring countries, improved access to employment opportunities, and increased social development. In this context, it is most important that an economic corridor does not merely function as a transit corridor for goods and communications, especially not predominantly for the donor country or countries. Such a container in and container out economy stands against the idea of economic corridors as the development enhancing factor. In order to avoid such a tragedy, the successful establishment of full-fledged special economical zones and industrial parks are of great importance. There must be a pre-existence of economic viability. More concretely, the area in which the corridor is to be developed must show pre-existent strong economic growth, show a natural propensity and strong effective demand for further development. This is contrary to the idea of cordoning off areas from people by use of force and making special arrangements for only few people, and all actors involved must possess the political will to implement and the necessary measures. Decision makers on all levels of government, local government, community representatives, and sector representatives need to be fully committed to the corridor project. This requires a cooperative, constructive mindset among all major players. Without it, a successful and comprehensive implementation of the corridor means unlikely. In order to devise and administer such a centralized approach, all relevant socio-economic and socio-political realities have to be taken into account. But in case of CPEC, almost the details of the projects are kept secret from the public and from the parliamentary members. None has been taken on board. The decisions are marked as state secrets, and none has a participation in neither in the decision making, in financial arrangements, and even about the future revenue disbursement. The people of Balochistan has been treated irony for showing their concerns and resisting against the CPEC. The political parties, civil society representatives, the students, lawyers, professors whom raised voice against the legal issues and the mandate of the Islamic State to plan mega projects on the land occupied by force against the will of the people were systematically eliminated. Only in the past decade, more than 45,000 Baloch people were involuntarily disappeared by force. More than 10,000 mutilated dead bodies have been recovered from different parts of Balochistan. 362 valleys were bombarded, and our local and international media has been kept away from reporting. 32 valleys along the CPEC routes were cordoned off, and the houses were ashed and bulldozed. The Gawadar city is no-go area for the Baloch people, and even the local fishers are being removed by force. They only need land for CPEC, for Chinese, and for outsiders. Any argument, comment, voice concerning about the aspect of CPEC has been declared and prohibited by the Pakistani army spokesperson, and the respective is usually punished by associating him and orchestrated as traitor to distort the image that seems lack of responsibility and logic in the state strategic policies. Thank you, Chairman.